welcome to Nonna's Kitchen in the Davenport Public Library. Today we are going to make some fudge. We're going to make fall fun fudge, which should be really good. It has Reese's Pieces and peanut butter chips, so I don't think there's any way that we can go wrong with that. Now before we get started, as always, the first thing that we want to do before we go into the kitchen is make sure that our hands are clean. So if you haven't washed your hands, go wash them right now and do that whole surgical clean where you wash everything and you wash everything, and you can sing the happy birthday song if you want to, but you want to have really clean hands when you are working in the kitchen. And the next thing that you want to think about is your hair. So if you have long hair, go ahead and pull it back into a ponytail or tie it up. If it's short, just kind of make sure that you're keeping it together. You don't want to get it into the food. So that said, for our fall fun, the first thing that we always want to do when we're going to make a recipe is read the recipe and make sure that we have everything and that we know what we're doing. So our ingredients, we have vanilla frosting. I have my frosting. And it's not the fluffy kind, it's just the regular creamy frosting. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And we have 10 ounces of peanut butter chips. Here they are. 10 ounces of peanut butter chips. We have the baking chips and pieces or the Reese's Pieces candy. So I couldn't find the baking chips and pieces. I looked at a few stores, so if you found them, great. I'm just going to use Reese's Pieces because that's what I found. Okay, so now the recipe itself. What does it say? It says, line our baking dish with parchment paper. Grease it with butter or spray. Okay. A lot of times I use butter and just butter up the parchment paper. Today I have some baking spray, so we're going to see how that goes. We're going to microwave, we're going to melt the peanut butter chips, and then we're going to stir in the frosting and make sure that that's melted, and then we're going to add the Reese's Pieces, and then we're going to put it in the pan. This sounds so easy. Okay, now to work in the microwave, you are going to, well, you're not going to get in the microwave, that was a silly way to say it, wasn't it? To work with the microwave, you'll want to have oven mitts. So I have my oven mitt. So I have that ready. I have a microwave safe bowl. I'm going to use my measuring cup because that's just what I happen to have handy. And you'll need a spoon to stir with. So I have my spoon. So let's get our baking pan ready. So take our parchment paper and we'll tear off the square. Here we go. And we're going to fit it right into our pan. Okay, now the cooking spray, I don't know. When I use cooking spray, I try to go far away from it. Let's see if I can actually get the pan. Okay. So I have my my pan covered with oil. Okay. And now we're going to put our chips in this bowl. Okay. And we're going to stick them in the microwave for 30 seconds. Some microwaves have a timer that says 30 seconds. This one does, so I'm just going to push 30 seconds and then it will go until it stops. Oh, I'm excited. This is going to taste so good. I love peanut butter and I love frosting, so this should be really good fudge. Are you doing the microwave dance? Are you doing the waiting for the microwave dance? Okay, I have my mitt. Okay, I have my chips here. They are not very melted, are they? Well, they're a little bit melty. So now we're going to add our frosting. So just go ahead and spoon the whole jar into the bowl. This is going to be so rich. It's just like pure sugar. So when we go to cut it, we'll probably want to cut it into little tiny pieces so that we don't get too much of a sugar rush when we go to eat it. Okay. We've got the frosting in there now with the peanut butter. And I'm just going to leave it like that and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. This is nice, easy fudge for the holidays too. So if you are having family get-togethers and you want to have some kind of easy candy on hand, this is an excellent fudge to make. Also, I was thinking when I was putting this together, you know those candy corns and those little candy pumpkins? Those would be so pretty in this too. So if you happen to have some just laying around, or if you decide to make this recipe more than once, you could add those, and I bet it would be really pretty. Okay, let's see how we did. Oh, it's stirring up really nicely. If yours isn't quite melty yet, you can put it back in the microwave, but don't put it for more than a few seconds, maybe 5 or 10 seconds at a time, because you don't want to get it too overdone. Okay, and see how as I'm stirring it, the chips are melting more and more. So that's kind of what you want to do. Okay. And when it gets to the point that you're happy with it, you can get your Reese's Pieces. And it says to add about 3/4 of the bag. So you can measure that out if you want to, or you can just start pouring them in. I have just enough to cover the top of my bowl. And now I'm going to stir those in there. Oh my gosh, this looks so good, doesn't it? Okay. And now we're going to pour it into our prepared pan. Just like that. It is beautiful. I can't wait for it to be cool enough and set so that we can eat some. And this one, sometimes when you make fudge or candy, to cool it, you put it in the freezer or the refrigerator for a few hours. This one says that you can just put it on the counter for half an hour and it gets nice and firm. So that's handy. Okay, so get it all smoothed out in your pan. And if you used a bigger pan, you'll just have shorter pieces, and that's fine. If you use a smaller pan, you'll have fatter pieces. Either way is fine. And then you take your Reese's Pieces and you put them up on top. You kind of spread those around. And if you were adding the candy corn or the candied pumpkins, you could stir them in, or you could put them on top in kind of a pattern if you want to. Okay. There's our fudge. Let me come a little bit closer so you can see it better. There's our fudge. It is so beautiful. Okay, now go ahead and cool it. And when it's done, you can cut it into pieces, and then you can ask your mom, or your dad, or your grandma, and have a piece when you want to. See you next time.